Okay. Is that better? Yeah. Okay. Now we have sound. Oh my gosh. So, I didn't mean to like slide into second there for, into coming in strong. But I thought that I was going to be quicker of refilling my water than I was like, than I was. It was just unpleasant. It was, yeah. So that's why I was like sliding in kind of quick. And yes, I know that yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, but I'm not seeing y'all until today. So, hey, Shaylee, I hope I'm saying your name right. And Kelsey, please let me know if I'm saying your name right. Because I wanted to say Charlie, but that's not an R. Yeah. So, oh my gosh, so much to talk about, right? Because just to be honest with you, um, I don't have a lot of people in my life, clients, friends, what have you, that is enjoying this Venus and Mercury retrograde together. Yeah, so as one that's double ruled by Mercury, I have a lot of friends and again, clients that are ruled by Venus. So I want to just get into some basics here of Venus and Mercury uh, before I like go into what we should be doing during this retrograde. Okay, because there's stuff that we should be doing. Okay. Not inviting exes in. And let me just tell you, one of the most famous of the exes return during retrograde, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, because they got back together and made it like pretty obvious, like they went public during Mercury retrograde. I don't know if you guys remember this, but yeah, they went public during Mercury retrograde the second time around. They went ahead and got married. Who was sitting back and telling them, don't do it, you're going to regret it? And what happened? Yeah, that was fantastic, wasn't it? So, forgive the cat's food over here and over here. Mercury, the cat, not the planet, has been like dipping into hers and Mouse's food and just like, I don't know what she's doing. Like Mouse is a kind of a messy eater, but not like huge. Like Mercury is ridiculous. Do you see this? And this just started. Maybe she's feeling the Mercury retrograde. I don't know, but Anyway, so let's dig in, shall we? My Mercury is at 4 degrees Aries, and I am a Virgo rising. Oh, apparently Mother Nature isn't taking the retrograde very well either. No kidding, because we don't have many tornadoes in Georgia. We do have them, but we don't have like tons. We had a tornado the other day. Yeah, touchdown in Paulding County. I know those of you that are not from Georgia may not be really, current on the location. That's pretty close to me. So I'm almost out of Burt's Bees. How dare I? I mean, really. Burt's Bees Plum Lip Shimmer. Hello. This is the best stuff ever, and I'm almost out of it, and I can't get it to focus. This stuff is so freaking awesome. I've got it upside down, but it's awesome. I just out of it. I mean, what are you gonna do? Buy more, clearly. I mean, so I got to use some other lip stuff. And Sun at 26 degrees Pisces. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? You're dealing with both ends of it. Shaylee, that's crazy. And it was 85 yesterday, 74 today, and I'm going to get 6 to 10 inches of snow. Shut up, Kelsey. Oh my gosh. This is the most interesting group. If nothing else, for just the weather on like where all of us are located. Some crazy stuff. Hello, Tiffany. Okay. So I just want to tell you guys, like, let's just start with some of this. My lips are so dry, y'all. I need some help. So, as you saw, I'm out of the Burt's Bees. How do I allow myself to run out of Burt's Bees? Okay, well, the last couple of times I've gone to buy it at Sprouts, they were out of the plum. How did they do that? They knew I was coming in for it. I mean, yeah. So very, very disappointing, very disruptive. Hello, Amber Melanie. Okay, yeah, it's hitting me hard. I have 2 other Pisces placements in a Virgo moon. Oh my gosh, and nodes, Uranus and Gemini. Sag. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Shaylee, we're going to be using you and I believe Kelsey as a lot of examples here. So let's get into this. This is fun. So we know what Mercury rules, right? If you haven't heard me speak, I've got notes. Hang on just a second. Let me pull them up. Okay, so Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini. Not necessarily in that order, but Virgo sun, Gemini moon. So Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. It's all about communication, our intelligence. It very much technology, which is why I have our fabulous little Ganesh, our lovely remover of obstacles dude. Yeah, I have him parked all over the place. Look, this one sits directly on my computer because we don't need all that. I got another one sitting back there on my altar. You can only see the tail end of the altar. I have them all over the joint. I have a picture of him that is not currently displayed, but we'll get into my organization system later. I know as a Virgo, I'm really, really not doing that well. So, I gotta get the remote for this fan because, old girl is burning up with it's a little hot here too, Kels. And, hot flashes and the lights. Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm attractively shimmering in the light. So anyway, back to Mercury, not Virgo. Erase. Okay. So, Mercury really is about, and travel, any kind of transportation. So we see if you're flying, if you're taking a train or bus schedules get all off. And I'm saying this because I've been hearing this at my kids' school. Even though Mercury just went retrograde this past Saturday on the 15th. Is that correct? Believe so. Let's just open up my calendar instead of being lazy. So I think that, oh, look, talk to Tiffany is in my calendar. Things to do. Love that. Okay. Yes, Mercury went retrograde on the 15th. So I was correct about that. So even though Mercury just went retrograde, for me, the shadow period is worse. The shadow period before is way worse than the actual retrograde. But everything's been haywire, with the bus schedules at school. And, those buses run school buses run pretty on time, right? Well, so I'm also hearing this from other people, just saying the MARTA and the Cobb County Transits, which are the bus systems around here, not running on time, the train schedule, air flights. So anytime I fly, period, whether it's retrograde or not, I put a picture of Ganesh. Even if I have to print it off from my printer, I put a picture of Ganesh in each of my luggage pieces that I have to check. I'm an overpacker. Don't come at me. So I check my luggage, and you know, I put him in my bags to make sure that I get my stuff back, and to make sure that nothing gets damaged or whatever, because I usually am traveling with, you know, camera equipment, whatever. So Mercury, you know, was named from Mercury mythology, and he was a messenger. Okay, in Greek mythology, messenger. So we love that. Yay. So what we should be doing during Mercury retrograde, I'm going to do Mercury first because I really want to spend some time in Venus. Hello, Mort. How are you? I have the windows open, haven't turned the AC on yet. Okay, see, do you have a lot of humidity where you are, Kelsey? Because there wasn't tons of humidity in Colorado. It was like people in Colorado would panic when it was like 30% humid. At Georgia, it's like 90% all the time, even in the winter. So yeah, you could open the windows. At 80 degrees, you could open the windows and be okay. I'm glistening. I'm sorry. I'm burning up. Okay. So during Mercury retrograde, all right, and we're going to hear a lot of rewords here. Okay. Rework, revisit. Okay. We're going to hear a lot of rewords here. So, really what you need to be doing during Mercury retrograde, if you can avoid it, avoid signing like important documents, like a lease, like a car loan, or purchasing a car, or like, you know, signing for a mortgage, signing a contract for a job, doing any of those kinds of things. Now, we have to live our lives, right? We cannot be slaves to astrology. As much as, you know, I do love astrology and numerology is my first love, I still will do things at the wrong time. So a few years ago, my beloved 1997 Forerunner really was just on its last legs. And it died on the side of the road. And Dr. Seuss, my husband, reminded me that I am a mom with 2 kids who incidentally were in the car at the time. And he was like, you can't keep doing this. It's a good point. Valid, right? That's valid. So I was like, well, okay, so we have to get a new car. So we got a new car during Mercury retrograde. I wasn't happy about it, but you do what you got to do. I couldn't wait any longer. Like, we have to have another vehicle because Dr. Seuss gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work and be at work by, he leaves for work at like 4:15, 4:20 every morning. And I was not about to get up, wake the children up, drive him to work 30 minutes away just so that I could have a car for the rest of the day and then go pick him back up after work. And I wasn't going to be trapped in the house with 2 children that were little with no car. That doesn't sound like a lot of fun, does it? I mean, like, no way out. That's trapped. That's sad. So we had to buy a vehicle. Now, do I love the vehicle? No, absolutely not. I don't. That's fine. Dr. Seuss drives it most of the time. Aces, we're good. But it has some glitches. It has some problems. But that's like things that we've had to get fixed along the way. Again, I don't love it, but whatever. It was never going to be the 1997 Forerunner that I held on to for many years, you know, for umpty years until it died. So we had to buy it. But I reread and read and read and read the contract. I read everything. I was like, just making sure. I mean, I lit candles. I like did everything we were supposed to, and it still was fine. It was absolutely fine. It's just the car has some glitches, which is probably why it was traded in anyway, because we got a used one. It's like one of those GMC Acadia things. I don't know. You know, I don't know cars. In a third row. That's all I needed. So this is a good time to rework some of that stuff. Okay. If I really wanted to, this would be a good time for me to sell that car. Yeah. But I'm not gonna, because I haven't won the lottery yet. So next, that's what we don't want to do during Mercury retrograde. We don't want to open ourselves up to our exes, because you know they're going to call. We do not want to sign anything that's going to be a lengthy like process or something that's going to keep us bound. And we definitely, if you do have to sign anything, read it 3 times. Read it 4 times if you have an opportunity. Get an attorney involved. Just make sure that like you're double checking, okay? Lines of communication are definitely a little when Mercury's retrograde. We have a lot of problems with communication. I mean, as I do right now. That's hilarious. The corn breathes, and that makes it humid in Nebraska. I love that. Oh, the shite hit the fan on Sunday, your birthday. Oh, Shaylee, and happy birthday. Happy birthday. So the thing is, hun, you got North Node in your sun, and you have South Node in your ascendant. That's super fun. Yeah. So let's talk about revisiting stuff. So when Mercury is in retrograde, it is time to revisit maybe some of the contracts that you have signed. Like I said, this is a good time for me to sell that car if I chose to. This is something that you should definitely say, there's probably going to be delays happening. I'm probably going to like run into some issues. Like I have a dinner tomorrow night, and my husband has an appointment tomorrow. So I packed in, I put in some extra time for me to get to that appointment. I was like, hey, my husband has an appointment. Can we move our dinner back just a little bit? Because I don't want to run late. Because Mercury's in retrograde, and I knew like something is going to happen. So I'm also double checking stuff, like double checking to make sure that everything is set up properly for this dinner. It's, you know, it's just the nature of the beast. It is. It's not a great time to buy a car. It's not a great time to buy a house. It's not a great time to just go out and say, this is the time that I'm going to invest in this big thing, this big financial expenditure. Not the best time for it, okay? And we're doubling down on that when we get to Venus. You're going to hear me say that again. Yeah. So definitely a lot of technology issues, and I can attest to this. You're going to feel like, at least I do, and maybe this is just because I'm double ruled by Mercury. When Mercury is retrograde, I feel like I am rushing all the time. I feel like I'm constantly just like, okay, I got to get to the next thing. I got to get to the next thing. I'm like, go, 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 go. So a few times a year, I know this is coming. I just take a breath, and I try not to overschedule myself. But who am I kidding? I am a Virgo with Capricorn rising. I am going to overschedule myself, Dr. Seuss, my dogs, probably overscheduling my cats, which is why Mouse isn't here right now. I mean, I'm going to overschedule everyone, and I'm going to stress everybody the hell out. It's because, I mean, I have to be good at something, right? Yeah. So, it's fun. It's so much fun. Oh my gosh, girl. I mean, Shaylee, we're just getting deeper and deeper. This is some interesting stuff. I would love to look at your chart. I've got Kelsey's on file. I've got Tiffany's. I don't have Mort's, but I've got some people's like charts on file here. Yes, and because communication is breaking down, you can expect arguments. There's so many people in my family that are ruled by Mercury. There's so many Virgos in my family. Couple of Geminis, a lot of Virgos. It's insane. So we all need to watch our communication. We all need to watch what we're saying, because stuff can come out wrong. It can get weird, and then we're all gonna have hard feelings for each other. It's not the best time. So let's get into Venus, because this is some big stuff. Okay. All right. So we've talked about Mercury, right? Venus also rules 2 signs. Is this a coincidence? I think not. So Venus rules Taurus and Libra. Now, you would think that you would be like, oh, this is pretty easy. Libra rules relationships. Taurus is sort of like the material stuff, right? But there's so much more here. I know. Venus also rules beauty. So a couple of my little Libra friends that I've been on the phone with the past couple of days are just like, oh my gosh, this is the time when I feel like so ugly. I mean, I'm like, you're not, but they're just like, oh my gosh, no, I feel so hideous during Venus retrograde. Because Venus also rules beauty. Yes. So Venus rules relationships of all kinds. Whether this is a romantic partnership that you're in love, oh my gosh, or a business partnership, a friendship, because Venus is all about harmony, but it's all kinds of relationships, okay? Familial relationships, relationships out in your community. It rules relationships, okay? Love is a big part of that. But it's not the only part, okay? So again, Venus is very, very much about harmony, beauty, how we look at the world, how we look at ourselves. It's a big deal. The other thing, I don't have a lot of Gemini or Virgo in my chart, but Venus is another story. I mean, Taurus and Libra energy is another story. That's funny. That's funny, Tiffany. And yes, it certainly is another story. Oh my gosh. So, especially since you've got Pluto in your sun sign. Changes. So, let's talk about material possessions. How about money? Venus does rule money. So Venus rules material possessions, but also the things that can buy material possessions and comforts, creature comforts. So money, our income, our investments, our savings account, whatever. I really don't love that Venus and Mercury are retrograde right before tax season, or during tax season, right before the due date, for taxes. I don't love that. So, that's a whole nother thing. Okay, I'm losing my place in my notes. I'm really trying hard to use my digital stuff. And when did I decide to do this? During Mercury retrograde. Perfect. Right? Perfect. It's great. Love it. Okay, so this can also, for me, I feel like this hinders my law of attraction. And it is because there is a component of, I feel like there's a component of law of attraction when we look at things and we find them attractive or unattractive. Like, I don't particularly want to wake up tomorrow with a zit on my face. Okay. I find that unattractive. But it's a law of attraction thing if I'm putting it in my head that I'm like, a hideous goblin right now with zits all over my face at 52. We don't need to get into that. But at the same time, I could also easily attract in like a clear face. But that's not where my head's at during a Venus retrograde, right? So I feel like it does like affect the law of attraction. It may not for you, and that's fine. But I definitely feel like with Venus, there's a lot of our relationship components, and because of our relationships, we also have that communication issue. And it is about communicating in relationships, and our planet of communication is also, so it's really mixing things up, right? Now, since Venus does rule money, let's call it our finances, the things that buy us, those material possessions, those creature comforts that we really do love. And especially those of you that are ruled by Venus, oh my gosh, y'all like your comfort stuff, right? Not a problem, not an issue. One of my kids is a Taurus, 100% accurate there. But it's not the best time for us to be spending. It really isn't. It's not the best time for us to be spending. This is a time for us to definitely reevaluate our money. Okay. Did I hit on all of this? Yes, art, all of those things. I did say that, didn't I? Okay. Okay. So, here's another fun thing about Venus retrograde is the past. So this has also come up several times in the past, just in the past week, with clients talking about things from their past are just like floating up. But I feel like this is the time when we can let the past go. And especially since we just had this lovely lunar eclipse in Virgo, and we're getting ready to have a solar eclipse in Aries, I think that it is time to let some things go. We are also in a 9-year. And I know y'all are sick of hearing me say it, but I am a numerologist and I can't let that go. But this is a time, this whole year is about letting things go. It's about letting things go and moving past the past, moving past things that we've outgrown so that we can embrace a new beginning next year in 2026 when we have that 1 year. Yeah. So us letting things go in this year is definitely going to help us open ourselves up to new things flowing in 2026. So here we are, revisiting the past. That's super fun, right? Yeah, not always great. But it might be something that we do just need to have some final closure on. That we just need to say, okay, I've beat that dead horse to death again and again and again. It is definitely time to just move on. It's a really good time to revisit your finances. It's a good time for you to look at your budget. And I do love doing a budget. Let me tell you, I have an entire little book that, of course, I didn't lay out. I have an entire little book that is just a budget. Oh my gosh, I get so excited about doing a budget. I do a budget for our house, for the home, for the family. I do a budget for businesses. Now, I do budget for all three of our businesses, all together, because they sort of all come out of one pot, kind of. But I love to do a budget. This is a great time to rework your budget if you needed to. If maybe your budget's not working out, your financial planning isn't working out, this is a good time to just be like, is there something better that I can be doing? Is there another way that I can be taking care of things? Yeah. It sounds weird, but it really is a good time to do this with Venus and Mercury retrograde. Yeah. And just for fun, right after Venus went retrograde, I broke my wedding ring. Actually, it was right before Venus went retrograde. I broke my wedding ring. So, but the great thing is now I'm having it reset. I'm still keeping the peridot because that's mine and my husband's birthstone. But I'm changing things up just a little bit. I know, I'm kind of excited about it. So anyway, back to the topic. I know, I'm staying on topic. I swear I am. So let's talk about the self, because Venus is about beauty. It is about relationships. But there's also a relationship that we have with ourselves, right? So beauty. How are you doing? How are you taking care of yourself? Have you given yourself a facial lately or a mani-pedi? What are you doing to take care of you? Have you maybe started journaling for your self-care? Have you started doing yoga? Have you, I don't know, started eating healthy? This is an excellent time to really just say, I need to do something for me. And that's a good habit to start. I don't recommend starting a lot of stuff during these two retrogrades in particular, but I definitely think that starting good habits of self-care is good anytime. Okay? And I'm not talking about selfish self-care. I'm not talking about some of these TikTok people and doing oh my gosh, I have to have my weekly 2-hour massage and 3-hour hair appointment and another hour and a half getting my nails done. No, I'm talking about just what are you doing? Do you spend time alone? That's an important thing in my household, because it just doesn't happen that often. I mean, for me, it just doesn't happen that often. So now, recently, I saw online where this woman was like, just waking up an hour before my family has been a game changer for me. And she just was like, I never would have thought that I was going to be that woman, because I like to sleep late, but waking up an hour before everybody in my house and just having my coffee and having my time before I have to wake up my kids, before everybody comes and bombards me with, where's my socks? I can't find my shoes. My book bag's missing. I don't want this for breakfast. That kind of stuff. It does make a difference. So I have recently started to do that. Let's just give it a shot. Can I wake up before my kids? I like sleeping late. Hello, Suzanne. Hello, Siad, am I saying your name right? Siad Khan. And thank you. It's a lovely compliment. I work in finance and hate doing budgets. Oh, Kelsey. Oh, Kelsey, I can tell you are a Pisces. That's okay, Kelsey. That's okay. You just need a Virgo around. You just need an uptight Virgo Capricorn kind of person that's just like, I'll do it, and I'll get really excited about it. I forgot what I was going to say, Amber Melanie. Did I say hi to you earlier? Did I miss you? I'm so sorry if I didn't say hi to you, Amber Melanie. I thought I did. But this is definitely the time for you to do some self-care and start that kind of practice. And again, I don't recommend starting anything new during these particular retrogrades, but it's okay. Oh my gosh, it really has been a hot mess. It has. And for fun, so we do have all this stuff going on, with Virgo's ruler being retrograde, but South Node is in Virgo. I know. And and poor Shaylee that's in the chat is just, this is hitting everybody. It really is. It's all over the place. And all my Aquarians with Pluto and Aquarius. I know. It's going to get better, y'all. It is. This is going to be fine. It's going to be a little weird, but it's going to be fine. And I'm saying that because Pluto was just in my ascendant. So, Pluto was in Capricorn, and I'm out of that now. It's all y'all. It's all the Aquarians now. Yeah, have fun. Okay, where was I at? I forgot. Okay. Self-worth. That's one that I wrote down. So our self-esteem, our self-worth, very important things to look at during this time. It's like I was talking to some of my Libra friends, and they were like, oh my gosh, this is the time when I feel so hideous, when I just feel like a goblin, and I'm just like, I feel ugly because Venus is retrograde. I feel ugly. This is a time to let's look at our self-esteem. Let's look at our self-worth. What do we feel like we bring to the table? I joke around about this all the time. Because I'm a really good smartass. But I joke around about this stuff all the time. And I think that it's, in all seriousness, we do need to look at what we feel like we bring to the table. Not at what Tiffany or Kelsey or Suzanne think that I bring to the table or you bring to the table. You have to look at what you bring to the table. How do you feel? What do you feel like you're doing? And if you like that thing, nurture it. Nurture it. It's a seed. Plant it, water it, take care of it, and see what it bears. What do you bring to the table? Well, for me, I will tell you, I have started a diet during this time. And it's a diet that I've been on before, and it's the diet that I did lose weight on a few years back. And I was like, but I got away from it. I got away from that diet, which is why I was like, I need to go back. I need to go back to that diet. I need to go through it again. I need to start my program all over again. And what better time to do it, during Venus retrograde? I know. I think that's when I did it a few years ago too. Have you noticed a difference since getting up earlier before the boys? Yeah, I have. Strangely enough, not not as tiring as I would have thought, because I like to sleep late. I get more done at night. I typically put the boys to bed, and a lot of times I come back down to my office. Now, with getting up earlier than them, I haven't been doing that as much. I think the cats appreciate it, because I think that I keep the cats up. I think I irritate them because I'm working, and they're just like, excuse me. Like, I thought we agreed that this is my area at night. But I mean, cats, what are you going to do, right? But I have noticed a difference, that I'm not as tired as I thought I was going to be. I'm really not. Getting up at 5:30 instead of 6:30 was an adjustment. It was a pretty big adjustment. I'll be real honest with you, because when that alarm went off at 5:30, I was like, you have got to be effing kidding me. What? Who did that? Whose idea was this? So after the third or fourth day, after the third or fourth day, the alarm, I was finally getting up at 6 instead of 6:30. And then I was like, this isn't so bad. Like, my gosh, I'm feeling pretty good. Dang. I get to go outside. The moon's still out. I love that. Like, moon hog that I am. And I'm just like, I love it. So it's nice. It's nice. I get to bring in, like, if I've set my water out, which I didn't during this last eclipse. But if I've set my water out or my crystals out or anything, if I've done all that, then I can bring them in, and, like, everything, I can get everything sort of sorted out before. And for me, it's nice. I don't love getting up that early, but I am trying to now. If I get up an hour before I have to wake up the kids, I'm like, why can't I just go ahead and hop on the elliptical? Why don't I just go ahead and hop on the elliptical for a minute, watch one of my podcasts, do some research, like, look up some stuff that I want to do, whatever, and just sort of, like, go ahead and, like, get my exercise on. Because I'll be honest with you, in the drop-off line, or when I walk my kids up to the school, nobody cares. Nobody cares. There's been several times that I have walked my kids up to school and I've had 2 different shoes on. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. The only thing that I will ever say to another mom, or dad for that matter, is this one mom, she had her pants on inside out, and I wanted to make sure she knew before she went, because a lot of us do this. We'll leave, we'll drop the kids off, and then I'll see them at Walmart or, Target or the Dollar Tree or Kroger. I'll see them there, and I'll just be like, hun, I just want to let you know, you got your pants on inside out before you go over to Walmart. This is just down the street, because I've seen you there before this time of the morning. Let's just go ahead and get those pants right side in. Otherwise, nobody cares. Just wanted to let her know. The tag was hanging out. It was fine. It was fine. But so yeah, that's nice for me. So I could go up there sweaty, smelling like crap, and be like, it's fine, and then come home and take my shower before I get my day started. It's important. This is not a time to be impulsive. You're going to feel impulsive. You're going to want to be impulsive. This is not the time for you to quit your job. To be impulsive and quit your job. I have known people that have done that just this week. In fact, just this weekend. These people, and I was just sitting there going, please tell me they didn't quit. Please tell me they didn't quit. Yep, quit their job. And I was like, okay, that was not a smart thing to do. That was not a smart thing to do. This is a time to reflect. This is a time to reevaluate. This is a time for you to open up the lines of communication and really open yourself up. This is not a time to shut down and say, and I'm done. Wait a few more weeks, damn it. I mean, come on. This goes direct on April 12th. It's less than a month away. Mercury goes direct before then. And both of these planets are going to retrograde back into Pisces. Yeah, all the Pisces that we've been talking about in here, it's seriously going to be a party in Pisces. And that I did write it down because like this is part of the stuff that I covered for the numerology for March. We are ending March with North Node, Saturn, Venus, and Mercury all in Pisces. Merry Christmas, Pisces. It's your special day. So that's pretty heavy. Yeah. 5. Oh, and the sun. Yeah. Oh my gosh. How could I forget about the sun? Yeah. So I mean, this is pretty interesting, to say the least. I'm sorry, the sun is going to be in Aries. Why do I have on here 5? Clearly, I didn't count properly. So if you watched my numerology, I meant 4, not 5. Whatever. Let's see. 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, that would be correct. Interesting. Anyway, that's what, Neptune's going into Aries. This is not the notes, but the notes that I've like completely gotten deranged with have to be put on here in such a way that I can report it back to you. Yeah. So super fun. And Neptune has been in Pisces, which it rules Pisces. Neptune has been there for 14 years. Yeah. So Neptune in Aries is a whole different animal because Neptune rules Pisces. And now Neptune is leaving the place that it rules, the place where it's most comfortable, and going into a fire sign. I have a lot to say about that. So, all my Pisces people, your ruler is going into fire. And so this is going to be super interesting. Yeah. Kelsey, I know. I know you are Pisces personified. I mean, like, I don't want to say that, you're 100% ruled by Neptune, but you're ruled by Neptune. Sun, Moon, and Mercury. I mean, that's some heavy hitters there. But I digress. So when we have this Venus retrograde happens every 18 months, 2 years. Mars retrograde happens about every 2 years. They're slightly off. I want to think that Mars is 2 years on the nose, and Venus is about 18 to 20 months ish. But Venus retrograde lasts for 40 days, and Mars retrograde lasts for 2 months, if that is correct in my head, which is sometimes it is correct. But it really is us reevaluating. And just, I want you to think back, because the last two Venus retrogrades, one happened in 2020. We all know what happened then. One happened at the end of 2022, and that was not particularly fun for me. In fact, we went into 2023 with Venus retrograde. Yeah, it's just fantastic. It's just fantastic. By the way, yeah, Neptune is going to be in Aries for 14 years. So it's a slow mover. So the slowest moving planets that we have are Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus. Uranus moves every 7 years. Pluto can move in a, like, 12 years is the shortest amount of time it stayed in the sign. 31 years is the longest it stayed in the same sign. But think about it. The last time, and I've said this a million times too, the last time Pluto was in Capricorn and then in Aquarius was in the late 1700s, when we had the American Revolution, the French Revolution. You know, it was a lot of changes. A lot of changes. Yeah. Saturn moves every 2.5 years. Jupiter moves every 12 to 13 months. So it goes through all the signs in about 12 years. Mars moves every 2 months. Venus moves every 23 days to 2 months. It slows down and speeds up. Mars is pretty steady with the 2-month thing. Mercury moves every 14 to 30 days. And, the sun and the moon. Yeah. Because, the moon goes through all the signs in 1 month. The sun, it's a whole year to go through all the signs. I know. I just wanted to reiterate that, because the last time I said something that I thought was common knowledge, somebody commented on my, on the rerun of it, and they were like, okay, you just said that and went finger guns. And I was like, yeah, because I thought it was common knowledge. I mean, so I'm not going to take for granted that everybody understands that the sun does move through all the signs in 1 year. Just making sure. Just making sure. Yeah. Okay, what did I not cover? Okay, so what we're going to do during the rest of this period, through April 12th, and really Mercury goes direct before Venus, but not much. Hang on. I have my calendar. Okay, so oh, that's great. It's a good thing that I am partially organized. Okay, so Mercury goes direct on the 7th of April, and Venus goes direct on the 12th of April. What I love, and you're going to hear me say this in the numerology videos for April, what I love is that Venus goes direct on the day that it's a full moon in Libra. I love that. I love it. I just think it's perfect. So I do love that. Venus goes back into Aries on the 30th of April, and Mercury goes back into Aries on the 16th of April. So there's some fun stuff that's happening in April, even though astrologically speaking, there's not a lot of stuff happening in April, but there's some good stuff happening. So this is definitely a time until we get to April 12th of revisiting our past, reworking our budgets, looking at our finances, looking at our relationships, polishing them up. And I said this a lot in my numerology videos, is that it's not time to start a new relationship. Please, for the love of all that is holy and good, do not start a new relationship of any kind during Venus retrograde. I have done it. I have started relationships, partnerships, friendships during Venus retrograde. It has never worked out. Please believe me. If you choose to do it, no judgment. Just, give me a call, shoot me an email. I'll help you clean up the mess. Yeah, it's ugly. One of my friends that I love and adore, absolutely adore her, she's in the chat. I wanted to discuss a possible, like let's do some business together situation. And I'm like, but I absolutely will not talk to you about this until after April 12th. In fact, I'm going to give it an extra week just to get out of it. And I'm like, let's just talk like closer to the end of April. Let's just clear that up, because this is a friend that I like and I would like to keep. So, we're not doing that. No. It's just scary stuff. This is definitely a time of being expressive. Now, when I say that, I want you to think back and do some self-expression in the form of maybe journaling, in the form of artistic endeavors, something that you can do maybe solo. That's a fantastic time. That's a fantastic thing to do. And it's not really starting something new if it's self-expression, or maybe that's part of your self-care routine. And again, that's the only thing that I think that I will say, oh yeah, this is a good time to start this new thing. Sorry, just checking. Let's see. Yes, reevaluate is a huge thing that I keep talking about during this time. But I really do think that a lot of misunderstandings occur during Mercury retrograde, but a lot of misunderstandings occur during Venus retrograde. Don't be quick to quit your job. Don't be quick to jump into like investments, financial investments, or time investments. You could overcommit yourself during this time. I have already. I feel like every day I overcommit myself. And I do this on a normal day, not just during Venus and Mercury retrograde. But the thing is, Mercury and Venus work together really well. Them being in retrograde at the same time is highly unpleasant. It really is. It's highly unpleasant. So let's get through this. Let's get through this in one piece, shall we? Shall we? Okay. So don't make any major commitments. Try really hard not to sign any major contracts. If you do, that's okay. I have lit candles for people all over the place when they are buying a house during Mercury retrograde. I don't recommend it during Venus retrograde, but Mercury retrograde, we do what we got to do. I think this is a really good time to review any past relationships. And when I say past relationships, don't take back an ex, okay? Learn from Jennifer Lopez. Do not take back an ex during Mercury retrograde, but especially don't take back an ex during Venus retrograde. Just say no. Let's go back to Nancy Reagan and just say no. Yeah. Did I say everything? This is a good time for closure. This is a good time to release. This is also a 9-year So it's a good time to let go of any of the things that you've been carrying around as baggage. Let's look at the Ten of Wands for that. The Ten of Wands is about letting go of baggage that is not yours to carry. It's about letting go of things that you don't need to haul around. The Ten of Cups is, no, the Ten of Cups is good. What's the other one? No. I think I'm in the wrong deck in my head. The Ten of Wands is definitely about releasing. It is definitely about letting go of responsibilities, burdens, commitments, baggage of any kind, emotional, physical, whatever, that does not belong to you and that you don't need to be carrying. Let it go. Yeah, that's the only 10 card for that. But you're going to feel impulsive during this time. And a lot of people, I'm going to tell you, a lot of people are getting laid off right now, not just if you work for the federal government, but also businesses are reworking their financial structure during this time. Businesses are reworking and looking at things in a different way, and they're just like, okay, this isn't working for us. We need to do something different. So a lot of people are losing maybe their income. And again, not just because they're a federal employee and there's weird stuff going on, but it is because a lot of businesses are reworking everything. They're reworking their financial structure, their budgets, and they're just thinking, you know what? Why have 4 people do this when we can have 3 do it and still do it efficiently? And yeah, they're trimming the fat. So this is something that you need to look at and just be like, all right, how do I need to move forward? How do I need to do this now? And I said this a few weeks ago on this show. I love this book. Who Moved My Cheese? This is an older book. It's over 20 years old, it's over 20 years old, I think. I highly recommend it. I am not getting a kickback from this. This is not an advertisement. I don't care if you buy the book or not. Go check it out from the library. But you can buy it on Amazon. You can buy the audiobook on Amazon. Pretty sure you can check it out from the library, the audiobook as well, probably. I know you can in Cobb County. It's fantastic, and it helps you to embrace change. And that is what the 9 year is about. But also this Venus retrograde, this close to the first part of the year, it is about change. And I think it is about letting go. And for me, there was things that I did not let go of during the last Venus retrograde. And it ate me up. And it slapped me in the face last year. So I am definitely letting go of a lot this year. Definitely. Now I just have to stop overcommitting myself. Yeah, Who Moved My Cheese was published in 1998. I highly recommend it as well. Yes, Tiffany, I knew you would appreciate that. And yes, I was thinking the Ten of Swords, but the Ten of Swords is more like the end of something, saying goodbye to something or sending it out so that it can be changed. Yeah. I will tell you a little preview into the crystal of the month for April. This is a flower agate. And these are so gorgeous. I have a lot of different ones that I'm going to show you guys for April, but these are lovely. I love them. So yeah, I had it sitting on my desk because I was doing a little write-up about it, you know, but it's a friend of mine introduced me to it. Well, she's an acquaintance, and she introduced me to this flower agate, and I'm like, I love that. It's amazing. So just a little preview as to what's going to happen for April's numerology and the crystal of the month. This one just happens to be a tower. I have them in all kinds, but you can't see, like this is a moon one, but you can't see that it's a flower agate because there's not, this particular one doesn't actually have any flowers in it. But oh my gosh, they're so pretty. And I have a bunch of different ones. So can't wait for that. Oh my gosh, you, Tiffany, are gonna love it because you guys, I attended one of Tiffany. She's in the YouTube chat under Down to Earth. She taught a crystal class that I was fortunate enough to attend, and I was like, yeah, that was fun. That was fun. It was an awesome class. But yeah, the flower agate, freaking amazing. Yeah. So I'm going to let you guys, you know, just stew on that for a minute before the numerology comes out. Did something happen? Did I get kicked off of Facebook? There's a lot of, again, you know, it's Mercury retrograde, so there's a lot of weird stuff happening. But somebody else that I watched was like, they were doing a live and they were streaming to a couple of three different platforms, and they were like, I just got kicked off of Facebook. And I don't know how you see that on the one that I'm on, but whatever. Okay, if you guys, I hope that this helps you. I hope that this like definitely helps with all this nonsense that's going on. If there are things upsetting in your life, if you are getting like, if your relationship is going south, if, you know, because a lot of breakups happen during Venus retrograde. If you're, you know, it's hitting with your finances, this is kind of a normal thing. Just hang on, okay? Just hang on. Don't do anything impulsive. Don't do anything like aggressive at all. Communication is down. Everything is down. So just hang on. Be patient. Read Who Moved My Cheese. Okay? It definitely applies for now. Please read that book. It's awesome. It's amazing. And the audiobook only lasts an hour and 40 minutes. It's a 20-page book. It's not long. You can read it really quickly, and you won't regret it. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. You guys are awesome. I'm sorry I missed last week. It was just, it's just been crazy. One of my kids has a lot of allergies, which we thought had turned into strep throat. Then it was also field trip week for me. So I was going on field trips. Like it felt like every day last week, but it was only 2 days. It was just a lot of chaos. And I was like, I can't do all of it. So there you have it. I hope you guys have an awesome week though. I hope we're all going to get through this little hiccup, this Mercury and Venus retrograde together. I hope we're all going to get through it together. So let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Maybe we can do a chart. I can just tell you, hey, it's going to be fine in a few weeks, or, oh, it's going to get much worse this summer. No, we're not saying that. We're not saying that. We're not even putting that out there. Okay. I, for one, plan to have a good summer. Yeah. Damn it. My cats are going to think that their name is Damn It because I say that so much. especially the one that just kicked Jasmine out of her dog bed. And I mean, Mercury kicked Jasmine, a big dog, out of her dog bed, and she is now a little cat stretched out in a dog bed. This is real. Yeah. I have too many cats now. Hello, Angel. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's a fire sign that I love. Oh my gosh. It's one of those Sagittarius people that I'm just like, oh, you should always invite a Sagittarius and Aquarius to your parties. Look at that. I got a Sagittarius and an Aquarius in the chat, in the party. Love that. Okay, you guys. I hope y'all have an awesome, awesome week. Venus and Mercury are going to try to kick our asses, but they're not gonna. No, no, no. We're going to get through this. April 12th is it's just right there. It's right there. It just seems really far away. And it's right before tax day. Isn't this just so precious? Yeah. All right. I hope you guys have an awesome week. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. Y'all are amazing. I love this group. I love the chat here. I hope I didn't get kicked off of Facebook, but who the hell knows? Yeah. And until we see each other again, what are you going to do? Get out there and make your magic. And maybe check out some floral agate before I talk to you about that in April's numerology. Just food for thought. All right. But yeah, get out there and make your magic. Bye. I will see y'all later.